Hey everyone, this is Josh Reeves, minister of Mile High Church, and thrilled to be with Mark Nepo today, who's going to be coming to hang out with us here at Mile High in October for two real unique events. Really excited to have you with us, Mark. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to being with you again.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the first is an evening event. It's on October 13th on a new book called Things That Join the Sea and the Sky. Is that right, Mark?
Yes. And the subtitle is Field Notes on Living. And I'm very excited about this. And Sounds True is publishing it, Your Neighbors to the North. And this book really comes out of a life of years of journaling. And what I've done is taken over the last 15 years or so, I've taken very personal and deep reflections. Sometimes stories have come, but really just, the conversation. A journal is a place where we have our conversation with the universe. It's different than a diary. And so listening to life and recording its questions and its insights and all of those deep metaphors, I've shaped those into small lessons and stories that help me learn how to be here. And what I've done also is in the back, I've created a whole kind of guidance if you want to have a conversation and journal like that yourself, including 100 journal questions that I've gathered over the years through teaching. So yeah, it's very exciting to have that come out. I think it's one of my most intimate books.
So it sounds like it's an opportunity to not only get your wisdom through journaling, but also to explore journaling as a spiritual practice for ourselves and our lives.
Absolutely. I mean, I just use my own journey as an example for how to help introduce other people to their own gifts and their own wisdom.
Well, and we all appreciate your commitment to your gift. And did you mention that you had a piece to possibly share with us?
Yeah, so this is a very small piece in the first section of the book called This Is How. When we can open our hearts and work with what we're given, loving what's before us, life stays possible. Then, through effort and grace, we do what we can with what we have. And when exhausted by all that's in the way, we're faced with the chance to accept and love what's left, which is everything. This is how we discover that heaven is on earth.
Beautiful. But have that for lunch and sit with it for a while. That's great. And so that piece is on Friday night, October 13th, starting at 7 p.m. And then the next day, beginning at 9 a.m., we're going to have a workshop on finding our inner courage. So can you give us a hint now on how we discover our inner courage and how we use it?
Oh, sure. So, inner courage, and that comes from a book of mine called Finding Inner Courage. And, I have to admit, I think most writers and teachers would, that, we write about what we need to learn. And, as a cancer survivor, some people have said to me, oh, you were courageous. And, like most people, you go, what? I just did what I was called to do. And, at this point when I wrote that book, I had to learn how to be even more courageous. And what I learned, and one of the key things here, and again, this will be opening a conversation so that people can have a personal exploration of their own edges of their own courage. That courage, the word actually in the West, comes from a Latin word cor, C-O-R, which means heart. But the original idiom, the way it was used in conversation, courage meant to stand by one's core. That gave me a way into the whole book. How do we stand by our core? Because when we do, we not only line up with the very center of our own soul, but we line up with the center of all spirit. And so then we are in our own strength, but we are also in the timeless strength that's greater than us. So by having the courage to be fully who we are, we access the resources that are beyond our small self. So we're going to be exploring all the different ways that we can find our courage. You know, Mother Teresa said that the courage was doing small things with love. So between those two fundamental positions, it's a good place to start our conversation.
That sounds like a great weekend. And, I know for me, I'm often mindful when I'm being a coward or afraid, but I would love to bring more mindfulness to my core and when I'm being courageous, especially in these days and times of wanting to show up and take a stand in the world. And, I'm not only a big fan of your writings and your amazing poetry, but of your story and your courage and how you've lived your life and been willing to share with us all that you've gathered from your deep contemplation. So we're so looking forward to having you with us again, everybody, Friday night, October 13th, beginning at 7 p.m. and then 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. the next day, Saturday, October 14th. So appreciate you taking a time to check in with us, Mark, and can't wait to meet you in person in October.
Well, thank you. I look forward to it as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mark.